This is my review of the Chippendale Rescue Rangers movie that's available on Disney Plus. And first of all, right about what I'm gonna say about the movie, I absolutely loved it. I grew up a fan of the. I was a big fan of the Chippendale Rescue Rangers series. Um, that was around in the actual nineties. That's for me is when I really loved them. Disney stuff. Well, obviously around about that era, you had the Chippendale Rescue Rangers. You had the Gummy Bears. I forgot what one you had. You had Dark Tales, which was kind of which was absolutely awesome, and you also had Tailspin. So I loved all those. I mean, to me, all those. So I remember as a kid, um, watching all these Disney cartoon shows, and what I also really loved about the cartoon shows at the time is the actual intros that they used to have, and then the actual theme, the actual Ducktales theme, or the Chippendale Rangers theme, or the Gummy Bears, or Tailspin. Their themes like Disney. They just always knew how to get them to perform such great songs for for the TV shows. Now, there's one show there's a couple of shows I haven't watched. Like I think there's a show called Gargoyles. I've heard about it, but I never got right. I never watched it. So, but again, it's on Disney Plus, so I will be watching that. There's a Darkwing Duck cartoon series. I don't know how many seasons of it they made, and a lot of people have been talking about that. But I am gonna be I'll be watching that, and I might really be watching the Ducktales, the old series, and obviously there's a new series, and then I might even really watch the Gummy Bears again because I think there's quite a few seasons of it on there, all the seasons on there, and Chip and the Rescue Rangers, the series I want to watch on there. But again, back to this film, I absolutely kind of loved it. As I said it right because of the actual series, and as Disney Plus put it, they said it's a mystery comedy and action adventure, and it's actually really funny. Funny enough, it's not a remake or it's a reboot, but it actually continues from the actual Rescue Rangers series, and it actually kind of explains why there was their interpretation as to why the series never carried on, because I think there was only 2 seasons. I think don't quote me now, but I think that's how much there actually were. And and what I do like about it is that the actual animation where it's like it's set in the real world. Some of the characters have got a 2D look to them, and then some of the other characters are like 3D, and also some of the characters are actually human or smart human. So the nearest movie that I would say that this was kind of like is probably Who Framed Roger Rabbit. If anyone's watched that movie, it's kind of like that, but I would say that it's not as dark as Roger Rabbit, because Roger Rabbit did have some dark elements that weren't actually in that actual movie. But again, as I said before, this movie was actually really fun and it was just really enjoyable, and I really enjoyed it. I mean, if it ever comes out to buy physically, I mean, I definitely would buy this, and I would recommend this to anybody if you because obviously you look, you think, kids movie, I'm not going to watch that. This is what kids do, but there's a lot of elements that appeal to adults. Now, one of the biggest things about this movie is that, and again, it's why it's kind of a lot like Who Framed Roger Rabbit, not just in mixing the live action and the cartoon, but it's also the actual different characters. Now, if you remember from the Roger Rabbit one, there was lots of characters that were in that movie that were even from rival studios. Obviously, they had to ask permission to put other studio franchise characters into a Disney movie. So, for example, Roger Rabbit was a Disney movie, but you had Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck in it, and then some other characters that were from other studios and other franchises which are outside of Disney. Now you get the same thing here, where there are loads of characters. There obviously Disney have got the back catalogue of live action and cartoon and CGI characters that do appear in this movie. I think that there's something I've read. There's up to maybe between 300 and 500 cameos in it and Easter eggs. Mixes, so there's loads. So it's like spot it if you miss it. So you're gonna have to keep a very sharp eye out. But yeah, there are loads of characters in this that aren't Disney characters. And from what I've read they actually had to ask. I think they actually got permission to use certain big characters, but then as long as they didn't make fun of the characters. So this isn't kind of a spoiler, but there's an ugly Sonic in it in the actual movie, and it's kind of funny in the way they kind of in the way they kind of done the actual character and the way he is. And obviously, you know the story about how Sonic, the live action Sonic the Hedgehog, how he originally looked, and then obviously then people complained, and then they actually changed it, and then they kind of make a big joke about that, which is kind of funny. But it doesn't have it. But it doesn't. It's not having to go up Paramount for changing. Or I think it's Paramount that did these Sonic ones for the Sonic sequel, Sonic 1 and Sonic 2 live action movies, where it's not mocking it, because obviously it's a rival, because obviously it's Disney and obviously they're rivals. Now again, this isn't a spoiler, but there's also believe it or not, a Knight Rider Easter egg, and you kind of spot it at the very beginning, and you actually see it. I actually had to rewind it, and then I said, oh my god, that's a Knight Rider Easter egg, and I won't say what it is, but you blatantly can't miss it. And I was like, oh my god, it's just all these little elements that they've put into this movie. And as I said, the amount of cameos, as I said, not just Disney with their own franchise, but all the other characters from other franchises, and it's just, there's just tons of it. So it's just so actually enjoyable. And believe it or not, there are a couple of post-credit scenes in this actual movie, and they're actually really funny. Now, what I was saying about Disney with their 90s cartoons and the Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers theme song, you actually kind of hear the original version of it in some parts of the movie, but they've actually done a new update to the Rescue Rangers main theme, and I actually like it where they've totally modernised it. And what I like in terms of what they've done is that they've modernised it, but they haven't totally done it so it's a completely different tune. But you can tell that it's been rejigged and remodernised to fit in with, obviously, with the music genre now. But it's hard to describe. It still sounds and feels like the original tune, but then at the same time, it actually isn't. So my overall summary is, as I said before, absolutely love this movie. I didn't think I would. Oh, my DualShock 4's has gone to sleep. So probably my time to wrap up now. But yeah, I absolutely thoroughly enjoyed this movie, and I would say don't sit there and think, oh, that this is simply just a kids movie, because I think a lot of it works on nostalgia, especially if you grew up with the original series, or even if you didn't. You can still watch the original series if you've got Disney Plus, and then still watch this. I mean, it all kind of makes sense. Or you don't even necessarily have to watch the original series, because it kind of explained itself at the beginning of the actual movie. But yeah, it's really kind of funny, and I just love the way how they've done the actual characters, but they're true to who they actually are. So yeah, I actually absolutely kind of loved it, and I highly recommend this. So, and I'm really, really, really hoping that Disney, although they're not going to be listening to what I have to say, or they'll even be watching this video, if somebody out there that's connected to Disney or Disney watches video, please make more of these movies of your 90s, 80s cartoon shows, because they actually really, really worked with this movie. So, and I'm gushing over this movie, but yeah, I highly recommend watching this movie. So if you've got Disney Plus, please watch this movie, or if there's a way wherever you are in the world where you can get this as a physical media, buy this film. You won't be disappointed. Anyway, I hope people liked this video. Obviously, this is the third or so review that I've done of a movie. Or if people want to see me do more, either leave a message on this video or on Twitter where I advertised that I've uploaded the video. Let me know if you want to see more of this stuff. If you already haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel if you want to see stuff like this tour videos, which I'm starting to do more. I might do them around London. I've done once so far, but of Walthamstow, and I want to do more over time. So if you want to see that, you can start to my channel. There's video game playthroughs, food tests, drink tests, unboxings. I'm going to be doing more comic stuff, start to do more TV show reviews of each season of a particular show. So you will be seeing more of that in the future, just having to do with it. So if you want to see all that stuff, let me know, and more importantly, subscribe to my channel. So anyway, take care, bye for now, and stay safe.